You keep wondering why your peace feels disturbed, why your progress stuck, why your joy keeps slipping away. And the answer is simple: you're too busy watching them instead of working on you. You can't pour into your own cup if your eyes are fixed on someone else's plate. You can't build your house while you're standing in somebody else's yard. You're comparing, competing, scrolling, envying, and forgetting the one person you were created to become. So today I came to remind you, not softly, but clearly, your purpose doesn't need permission and your growth doesn't need an audience. You've got to learn how to focus on yourself, because your destiny depends on what you do, not what they say. Some of you are losing yourself trying to keep up with people who don't even know who they are. But today we shift that. Today you take your power back. Comparison is the thief of growth, because it convinces you that you're behind even when you're exactly where you need to be. It turns gratitude into insecurity and focus into distraction. You start looking at what someone else has and forget how far you've come. You see their success and question your own path, forgetting that every blessing comes with its own burden and every story carries unseen chapters. When you compare yourself, you stop learning from people and start competing with them. You turn potential teachers into silent rivals. Instead of being inspired, you feel inadequate. But here's the truth: no one can live your journey better than you can. No one else was given your exact mix of lessons, struggles, and gifts. So when you measure yourself against someone else, you're judging your roots by their fruits. You're comparing your planting season to someone else's harvest. Growth doesn't happen when you're looking sideways. It happens when your eyes are fixed forward on your own lane, your own purpose, your own progress. Every second spent wondering why someone is ahead of you could be spent becoming stronger, wiser, more prepared. You can't move upward while your focus is outward. And if we're being honest, most of what we compare ourselves to isn't even real. We see highlight reels, not the behind the scenes. We see smiles, not the sacrifices. We see victories, not the valleys. But your growth lives in those valleys, in the unseen, unshared, uncelebrated work. That's where your real transformation happens. So stop giving your energy to someone else's reflection. Turn that gaze inward. Ask yourself, what can I do today to grow? What can I learn from where I am? When you do that, you take your power back. You stop chasing what doesn't belong to you and start watering what does. The day you stop comparing is the day you start expanding. You begin to appreciate your own process and trust your own timing. You find peace in progress, not perfection. And that's when real growth begins. Not when you're trying to be better than someone else, but when you're trying to be better than who you were yesterday. Your journey is personal, not public. It's not meant for everyone to understand, approve, or even notice. The path you're walking was designed for your steps, not for the crowd's applause. Too often we think progress has to be visible to count. We want people to see what we're building, to recognize our effort, to validate our growth. But real transformation doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it happens quietly, in private moments where no one's watching and no one's clapping. You don't owe the world an explanation for every step you take. Some seasons are meant to be lived in silence so your roots can deepen before your results show. It's easy to feel unseen when everyone else seems to be shining, but what's happening underground matters more than what's being shown online. The process you're in right now may not look impressive, but it's shaping something powerful within you. When you start treating your journey as sacred instead of public property, you begin to protect your peace. You stop performing for approval and start progressing with purpose. Not everything needs to be shared or compared. Growth loses its strength when you keep trying to prove it. The moment you detach from that pressure, you give yourself room to grow freely without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. People might question your pace, your choices, your direction, but they're not meant to understand a path they weren't called to walk. You don't need validation from those who can't see your vision. The only person who truly needs to believe in your next step is you. Trust your process, even if it doesn't make sense to others right now. Every delay, every detour, every quiet stretch has meaning. It's all part of the preparation. You're learning patience, faith, and discipline, qualities that can't be built in the spotlight. So take the pressure off yourself to be seen or praised. Keep building in silence, keep walking in faith, and let your results speak when the time is right. Your journey is yours for a reason, and no audience can define the value of a path that was never meant to be public. Silence the noise, because not every voice deserves your attention, and not every opinion deserves a seat in your mind. The world is loud. Everyone has something to say about who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. If you listen long enough, you'll start to lose the sound of your own voice. The more you let outside noise fill your space, the harder it becomes to hear your inner guidance, that quiet whisper that already knows what's right for you. Sometimes the noise doesn't come from people. It comes from your own thoughts, the doubts, the fears, the what-ifs that echo when you try to move forward. You start to overthink, overanalyze, and underestimate yourself. That mental noise can be louder than any crowd. It keeps you second guessing your decisions and dimming your light to fit into spaces that were never meant for your growth. But silence gives you power. In stillness, you can hear clarity. There's strength in stepping away for a while from the screens, the conversations, and the constant comparisons. Quiet doesn't mean isolation, it means alignment. When you turn down the world's volume, you create space for peace to return. You begin to remember what truly matters to you. You start to reconnect with your goals, your purpose, your own heartbeat. You don't have to react to everything or explain yourself to everyone. Sometimes the best response is silence, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Because peace isn't found in arguing with noise, it's found in protecting your energy from it. When you stop chasing every distraction, your focus sharpens. You see what deserves your time and what doesn't. So take time to unplug, to sit in your own company, to breathe without rushing to the next notification. Listen to your own thoughts without judgment. That's how strength grows quietly beneath the surface, far from the noise of approval and attention. The world may move fast, but you don't have to. Let the noise fade, let your stillness speak. The answers you've been searching for aren't out there. They're inside you, waiting for a moment of silence to be heard. Invest in your development, because nothing grows in your life until you grow within yourself. Too many people want success without the discipline, peace without the healing, and progress without the patience it takes to build it. But real transformation begins when you make a conscious decision to work on you. It's not just about learning new skills, it's about unlearning old habits, facing uncomfortable truths, and being willing to grow through what challenges you. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're investing in your future. Reading that book, reflecting on your mistakes, learning from people wiser than you, taking care of your mind and spirit, all of that counts. Growth doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it's lonely, slow, or even painful. But those moments are where strength forms. That's where you learn who you are without the noise, the distractions, or the applause. When you invest in your development, you stop waiting for life to get easier and start becoming stronger. You realize no one is coming to save you. No opportunity will last if you're not ready for it. And no relationship can complete what you refuse to build within yourself. The more you pour into your growth, the more confident, calm, and capable you become. It's the kind of investment that can't be taken away, because it's rooted in who you're becoming, not in what you have. Growth requires intention. You can't just wish for a better life. You prepare for it. You train your thoughts to focus, your emotions to stay steady, your habits to align with your goals. It's a daily choice to keep learning, to keep stretching, to keep improving even when no one's watching. That quiet effort becomes the foundation for everything that follows. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of effort, stronger, wiser, more grounded. You meet that version by showing up for yourself every single day, even in small ways. So invest your time, your attention, and your heart into becoming the best version of you. The world rewards those who prepare in silence and show up in strength. You are your greatest project, and the return on that investment is limitless. Protect your energy from comparison traps, because nothing drains your spirit faster than measuring your worth by someone else's life. The moment you start comparing, you stop appreciating. You begin to feel behind, even when you're making progress. You question your value because you've been looking through someone else's lens instead of trusting your own path. The truth is, comparison doesn't motivate, it distracts. It pulls your focus away from what's growing in your life and plants seeds of doubt where confidence should be. Energy is precious. What you feed your attention to grows, and what you constantly compare yourself to eventually consumes you. You might start off admiring someone, but when admiration turns into envy, it poisons your peace. Social media has made this trap even easier to fall into. You see the highlights, the filters, the best angles, and your mind starts whispering, "Why not me?" But what you're comparing yourself to is often not reality. It's a moment, a performance, a carefully framed piece of someone else's story. You protect your energy by staying grounded in your truth. You remind yourself that your timeline isn't supposed to look like anyone else's. Your progress may be quieter, slower, or less visible, but that doesn't make it less real. Everyone is fighting unseen battles and walking through private struggles. No matter how perfect things appear, when you remember that you stop competing and start appreciating. Protecting your energy also means being mindful of what you consume. If certain spaces, people, or habits constantly make you feel small, step back. You have the right to guard your peace. Protecting your spirit isn't selfish, it's survival. The more energy you waste comparing, the less you have to create to heal and to grow. Shift your focus back to what you can control: your effort, your growth, your gratitude. Be proud of your small wins, celebrate your own lane. When your attention stays on your own journey, comparison loses its grip. You realize that peace feels better than proving, and growth feels better than competition. Protecting your energy isn't about ignoring others, it's about choosing yourself first over and over, until comparison no longer has power over your peace. Celebrate your small wins, because those quiet moments of progress are the building blocks of every big success. Too often we wait for something grand to happen before we allow ourselves to feel proud. We overlook the little steps, the tiny victories, the daily effort it takes to keep going. But it's the small wins that hold the power to keep your spirit alive. They remind you that you're moving forward, even when it doesn't look dramatic or feel fast. Every time you push through a tough day, choose patience instead of frustration, or try again after a setback. That's a win. Every time you show up for yourself, even when motivation is low, that's progress worth celebrating. Growth rarely happens in leaps. It happens in steady steps, the kind that most people don't notice. But you notice. You know how much it took to get through that challenge, to stay disciplined, to not give up. That deserves recognition. Celebrating small wins doesn't mean you're settling. It means you're grateful. It's a way of honoring the process instead of just the outcome. When you pause to acknowledge your effort, you build confidence, you strengthen your momentum, and you teach yourself that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. The energy you gain from celebrating small victories becomes the fuel that carries you toward bigger goals. It's easy to look ahead and feel like you're not where you want to be, but take a moment to look back and realize how far you've come. There were times you thought you wouldn't make it, yet you did. There were days that tested your patience and faith, yet you kept moving. That resilience deserves celebration. You don't need applause from others to validate your progress, just a moment of appreciation for how far you've grown from who you used to be. So celebrate those small wins. Smile when you overcome a fear. Take pride in the effort you gave, and thank yourself for staying consistent. Those moments may seem minor, but together they build the foundation for something greater. The people who learn to celebrate small wins are the ones who never lose sight of hope, because they've learned that every step forward is a victory worth honoring. So as you walk away from this message, remember this truth. Your life changes the moment you decide to stop watching and start working. You don't need to compete, compare, or chase anyone. You just need to show up for yourself every single day with faith, focus, and consistency. The world will try to distract you. The noise will try to pull you off track, and the doubts will whisper that you're not enough. But those voices only have power when you listen. Focus on your growth. Protect your peace. Build your strength quietly, because everything you're becoming is happening beneath the surface. You don't need validation to grow. You don't need recognition to be worthy. What you're doing in silence will one day speak louder than anything you could post, prove, or explain. The person you're becoming deserves your full attention, your full belief, and your full effort. Stop looking at how far others have gone and start looking at how far you've come. Every step, Every lesson, every setback, it all mattered. You are not behind, you are becoming. The progress might not be visible yet, but it's happening. Keep your focus on what you can control and let life unfold the rest in its own timing. When you focus on yourself, you align with purpose. And when you align with purpose, peace follows naturally. There's something powerful about a person who knows how to be still, how to work quietly, and how to trust their process. That's the kind of power that doesn't need to prove itself. It shows itself through results, through calm, through confidence. So keep moving with intention. Keep choosing your growth even when it's hard. Keep your eyes on your own lane, because what's meant for you cannot be taken, and what's not meant for you cannot stay. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to build, to rise, to evolve. The journey isn't about being seen. It's about becoming whole. Focus on yourself, not because you're selfish, but because your peace, your purpose, and your power depend on it. When you do that, everything else begins to fall into place. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep growing. You are becoming everything you were meant to be. Thank you.